Welcome back to part 2 of a month in South Africa, and this time we were starting early on at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive all the way up to Kruger.
Up to Kruger Park!
It was a long drive, but a drive that I thoroughly enjoyed because here you could see a lot more landscape and the beautiful northern parts of the country. So we managed to arrive early afternoon at Tangala Safari, and there the first animal we saw was an elephant. We were greeted very finely and the rooms were decorated. Then we were off to our first safari. Soon around the corner we saw the first member of the Big Five. It was the lion. After that we saw many more animals. It was a great joy to be on a safari. There were long trips so we could see so many animals. We also saw a leopard. Wait, this might be too far, let me zoom in. All done. Now you maybe can see the leopard sleeping up in the tree. Each evening we had sundowners. Here we also spotted a rhino in the dusk. We had got 2 cottages, and here is a little tour.
So this is one of our 2 little huts. They are super cozy and very comfortable. Of course, the centerpieces are the beds, and I completely love these nets hanging from the ceiling. Then we go on to the bathroom area. We have a sink and everything and decorated with African art. Then we also have a shower and a toilet this way.
Now I want to tell you how our day in the Kruger was. So we got up at 4:30 a.m. when it still was dark. It had to be so early so we could see as many animals as possible. At 6 a.m. the trip would start. Listen to these elephants trumping up some wood. Through the drive we would see a lot of elephants and actually a lot of young animals because it was the season for it. Eventually we would stop for some morning tea and some rusks. At 9 a.m. we would have some breakfast prepared for us. Through the day we would sit at the lounging place gazing at the African zebras. On some occasions these nyala would pop by and drink out of our pool water. After some so-called high tea, we could just bath and play and sit around and enjoy ourselves. In the evening there would be a 3-hour drive again. All in all, it was so cool just to sit there, feel the African air breezing through your hair and enjoying the present moment. All together we saw a lot of animals, and this time we also catched the leopard a second time. After the sun had set and the stars were coming out, we could sit around this communal fire or eat this lovely dinner. And that was it for the day because we had to wake early up the next morning again. This was the last safari ride of the trip, so we enjoyed it thoroughly. All in all, we managed to see the whole Big Five, which was great, but I must say some of the drives were a bit empty of game and we drove for a long time without seeing anything. Then we had to say bye and go off to Wegrakbos. It's a dairy farm up in Sanin or Machuwas Cliff area, and we knew those friends from way back, so it was nice to see them again. The nature of the drive up there was absolutely beautiful. Before we arrived, we made a quick pitch stop at Debegeni Falls, which were amazing. They were really breathtaking and lovely to see. This is Wegrakbos. We had been here before, but it was 8 years ago, so my memories were a bit faint of this place. It overlooks these beautiful mountain views, and if you go down the stairs, you are going to see the dairy on your left. I would wake up at 5:30 so I could help Madum milking the cows. The farm is known for being very old school and organic, so of course we had to milk the cows by hand. In the beginning it was quite difficult and I splashed it all over my pants, but here in this clip I actually have got the hang of it. Then we would weigh the milk, write it on the board and put it in this huge bucket to make cheese out of it. At this huge iron kiln over the little fire they made this huge stack of cheese. Normally I don't really like cheese so much, but these were absolutely amazing. I think I had never eaten so much cheese in my life before than at this farm. We walked the cows down to their grazing areas and fed the calves with their milk. The rest of the day we could play, we could go on adventures and just relax and live in the moment. Theodore and I explored this hay barn a lot. We all swam so much. It was also so pleasant reading a book and listening to the farm life. For dinner we would often go out in the quite extensive vegetable patch and pick the fresh vegetables from the garden. These we would enjoy around the dinner table with our lovely host family. Besides the normal routine, we would do many things. One day we went on a long hike around the farm's property and swam in this beautiful cloud forest. We also helped them sell cheese and chorizo that they made themselves in their homemade store in Heinetzberg. It was so lovely just sitting and chatting with them and enjoying the atmosphere. The same day we went for a stroll through the whole of Heinetzberg, which is only one street. After lunch we went to this lavender house. There we bought tons of products from Hazel's Harvest. 2 soaps, 2 sausage tree facial creams, 1 lavender baobab nourishing balm, 1 muscle balm, insect repelling balm, and 1 big sunscreen. We spent a lot of time in the outdoors, just chatting and hanging out. It was just so lovely to be there. On one occasion, the boys even managed to make fire with 2 sticks on top of a very hot mountain.
Yeah.
We also dug a hole at the reservoir, and I painted their road cheese sign brand new. Every time we would drive, we would sit in the back of the buggy. This was really the African life. One evening we drove up to this beautiful top camp of theirs and we had sundowners. Cheers! The boys also used this swing so much. One day we also saw a pig being made into their chorizo. 2 days after, they were finished and hanging in the smoker. Life on the farm was just so idyllic. It was nice taking a step back from the busy hustle of the big city and just enjoying the view, the nature and the lovely people that surrounded you. Then we had to drive back to Johannesburg. The first day back in Johannesburg, we decided to get up before the sun rose and then see the sunrise from North Cliff Hill and just gazing over the whole of Johannesburg. During this holiday, we had seen so many sunrises and sunsets. The last week was just all about family quality time. We saw my cousin doing his kung fu lessons. And my other cousin doing her gymnastics. They were both so good. We also managed to fit in a visit with my dad's aunt in Springs, and she made the most delicious food. Catching up with her and talking with her about everything was so nice. Her house is just so cool and uniquely decorated. One day we also spent a lot of time at Cresta enjoying our shopping spree. Afterwards we had some lovely tea and a walk with my dad's other aunt. Quite frequently we managed to eat out in the dinner times, and this time was really special because I really wanted to taste dumplings. Luckily we had booked this micro-adventure tour guide. His name was Kennedy, and we did a Soweto tour. The Soweto tour also included a deep history of Johannesburg and Nelson Mandela's life. This was the size of his prison cell, and this was his new house. We also saw other cool and interesting trademarks of the city. We ate at this local restaurant, saw Nelson Mandela's previous house, and got in-depth knowledge of Vilakazi Street. A very interesting point that I didn't know too much about was this Hector Peterson Square. All in all, we learned so much and I really valued this trip. I definitely recommend it if you are in the area. The same day we got our new Airbnb, and I will show you a little tour. It had 2 huge bedrooms with lovely beds and lovely pictures. The house also included this huge bathroom with shower, toilet, bath and everything you want. Luckily we had this lovely big kitchen so we can make a lot of food in there. It also had this quite big living room and eating area where we had a lot of space for guests. All in all, we were really happy with it, and the crazy thing is that the owner had taken all of these pictures. One night we also had a lovely movie night with knickknacks, biltongs and cream soda. These were the last days and moments together with our family, so we really made sure to spend every time of it with people. Here we were in Delta Park at this lovely sunny day. On the last Monday, our grandpa took us around Joburg, which also included Wits. This was a big thing in our family, so I'm glad to have seen the school. We also got to see CBD from the car again, which was an experience. I'm glad to have seen this part of the city and that not everything is sunshine and rainbows the whole time. During our long stay in South Africa, a seamstress made this personalized dress for me, and I'm so glad how it turned out. She was so nice and didn't complain if I had some adjustments. I'm very glad that I made the choice of calling a seamstress, and it will definitely be a good memory of the time. Last Sundowners in South Africa. Cheers! You heard it right. These were our absolute last days and final moments to say goodbye to everyone. The long month had come to an end. Off we went. We had said our final goodbyes to everyone, already reminiscing the lovely time in South Africa. We boarded the plane in South Africa, preparing ourselves for a long flight back home. It was nice to recap and look back at the lovely adventures and time we had spent in South Africa. Back in Hamburg! Thank you everybody for making this an unforgettable holiday. And as Granny said, everyone got the feeling of belonging and being a part of something very special. We love you all.